Hey everybody, happy Friday night. Friday night. Friday night. Penguin and the chef. Say hi, chef. Hi, chef. Our videos are a little bit off. I'll just say that straight up. We've had a lot of stuff going on. I was going to do the orange cheesecake tonight, but I think I'll be doing that probably tomorrow night. These are just last minute videos that I'm going to do. I made, a lot of you know, I made the tiramisu a few nights ago, and without thinking, I had made the real deal tiramisu that I've always made with the egg, and I deleted that video no sooner than I put it up, really. After it dawned on me, Chef had said something to me about it, and it didn't dawn on me at first, but then it did, about the eggs and the tiramisu and the bird flu, and I would never want anyone to get sick off of one of our videos. So I made the conscious decision to delete it. Doesn't mean I'm not still craving that tiramisu, which is one of the reasons why I made it. So tonight, I'm going to be making the tiramisu. Sorry, Pootie just hit the camera. I'm going to be making the tiramisu, but we're going to be doing the eggless tiramisu, and this one is a little bit more budget friendly. Mascarpone cheese, if any of you know, is a little bit more on the costly side. For an 8-ounce container of mascarpone cheese, it's usually about $5. Depends, somewhere roughly around $5. We're going to be replacing it with cream cheese. It's going to be just as good. I promise you, it's going to be just as good. But we got this Meyer brand original cream cheese, and you want to use full fat if you can. It was, I think, on sale for $1.79. So you're saving a lot of money there. I've got a package of ladyfingers here. This is what I use. If you cannot find these anywhere in your stores, you can also use sponge cake, pound cake, or what I have also done before, if you know the little round cakes that you get at for strawberry shortcakes and that, the little sponge cakes, you can also buy those and use those in place of the ladyfingers. But if you want to stick to more authentic tiramisu, you're going to use the ladyfingers. I think this package was just under $4. Going to be making a big dish full. If you want to use a 9x13 pan, then you'll want to use 2 of them. Walmart, for whatever reason, or at least our Walmarts, do not sell these. But if you look at more different stores like Kroger or maybe Lions, we don't have a Lions, but I think Lions are comparable to Kroger, then you would probably be able to find these. It doesn't have to be this brand, just ladyfingers. Kroger sells something that they call ladyfingers, but they're cream filled, and it's not the same. It's more like a cookie than what it is, the actual ladyfingers. So you're going to need some ladyfingers. This one has 21 pieces in it, I believe. 24. Sorry, there's 24. I usually use about 21, so I have like 3 left over. But yeah, you're going to need a package of these. You're going to need just a little bit of sugar. You can either brew some coffee and stick it in the refrigerator and let it get cold, or you can buy the cold brew coffee that they sell in the store. A couple of packages of cream cheese. You're going to need some vanilla extract. For the top, some Hershey's cocoa. If you don't like Hershey's cocoa, you can take a chocolate candy bar and just shave it all over the top. So I wanted to wait until the last minute to get my heavy cream out, and you're going to need some heavy whipping cream. So let me grab that and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And what I'm going to be putting mine in is my glass loaf pan. I like using this so that way you can see the layers throughout. This one is, if you're wanting by measurements, this one is 5 1/4 by 9 by 2 1/4 high. So you want to use something that's very similar in size like this. If you have your loaf pan that maybe you make bread in or anything like that, zucchini bread, you could do the same thing. It should be a good enough size. You just worst case scenario, you have a few cookies left over. So usually we have a little cream left over too, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our heavy whipping cream. So I've got my metal bowl here. I'm going to use about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. If you buy one of these small containers at Walmart, this is exactly 2 cups. But I have a little bit left over in this one, so I'm going to be using it up first. No waste, no waste. We never want any waste. Okay. I need a little bit more, so I'm going to open up a new one. And you're also going to want your beaters, your electric mixer. You don't want to do this. Try to do this by hand. You're going to have very tired arms. Okay. New one open, so now I can finish filling this up. Okay, 1 cup. And 2. And I will say, if you want to make an even smaller amount, I'm going to be doing about 3 layers, but if you want to make an even smaller amount, then you can just go with 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese. Maybe if you're making half of that loaf pan size for one person to have over, a few days. Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay, I had to get my measuring cup cleaned out because we need some sugar. So I'm going to use about 2/3 of the cup. I don't have my 2/3 cup measuring cup, but from baking so much, I already know about the amount I'm looking for. So I'm going to do about 2/3 cups of granulated sugar. Okay. I am going to do, I know I've got them here somewhere. I am going to do about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now is the time, if you wanted to change the flavor at all, you could do the vanilla extract. If you have coffee extract, you could do that as well. We're just going to stick with traditional. And I'm going to do a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay. Now we're going to beat this up until it gets kind of thick. We want it to get kind of thick, so you can see down in there. And I will mute the noise. Okay, we're starting to thicken up a little bit now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cream cheese, and you want to take it out ahead of time and let it sit and get to room temperature if you can, or as close to room temperature. And we all know that's only because the warmer it is, the easier it's going to mix up. Get this open. And dump that in here. Try not to leave much behind. Okay, that's 1 cream cheese. I love the smell of cream cheese, don't you guys? It smells so good. If you want to spend the extra money and buy the mascarpone, then you would just add in the mascarpone cheese right now as opposed to the cream cheese. But I think now in today's world, we're all looking to save a little bit of money. Take those little shortcuts that we can afford to take without sacrificing the taste and flavor very much. But the cream cheese is working just fine. I've done this before many times when I've wanted tiramisu in a pinch and I didn't have, because mascarpone cheese is not something I keep in my refrigerator all the time. I usually only buy it when I find a good deal on it. And that doesn't happen very often. You don't find mascarpone cheese on sale very often. Okay, so now we're just going to keep mixing. We're going to mix this until it gets to the desired thickness that you want. And I will show you when I reach the desired thickness that I like. Let's get to mixing. Okay. Now I'm going to take a spoon here. I've got a clean spoon. I'm just going to check it for thickness. So if you can see that, it's stuck to the spoon. I'm not losing any of it. You don't want it to be runny. And now is a good time to taste it to make sure that you feel like you have enough sugar in it. Typically, tiramisu does not, the cream portion of it does not have a lot of sugar in it. It's just a light sweetness because you're getting sweetness from the cookies. But you make it how you want it. If you like it a little sweeter, add you a little bit more sugar. Okay. To me, it has the perfect amount of sugar. I did taste a few little like cream cheese clumps in there, so I'm just going to give it another mix for a minute. Okay. We don't want to turn it into butter. No, we don't. Anyways, you guys know we're talking about the bird flu. You guys know all about this bird flu stuff that's going on. Well, I was reading something on our local news website. I always read the news every day or watch it. It was talking about if you have any birds, if you find any birds dead in your yard or anything like that, to make sure to call the DNR or go to the DNR website and report it. Well, we hadn't had any here. I did notice a few days ago we had a large flock of blackbirds out here, which they do that this time of the year. You'll find blackbirds, I guess migrating back or however you want to call it, back to the area, and there were so many birds out there. Well, Chef went and let the dogs out to potty earlier, and when he called them back in, all of them came back in except for Sandy. She's our yellow lab. Well, he went out there because he saw her. She was just standing there. She wasn't doing anything. She was standing there, but she wasn't obeying either. She wasn't coming in. So he went out to see what was going on, and lo and behold, Sandy was standing over a dead bird. So we immediately started getting on the phone and making phone calls. I called the vet because even though it may not be common, your dogs can get bird flu. Cats are more prone to bird flu than dogs are. And from what I've seen on the news and that, it's more fatal for cats. So you want to always protect your animals. So I was calling the vet. I ended up calling Purdue Emergency Vet Clinic. And I asked them what we should do just in case she might have licked the bird or anything like that. So they talked to the vet and they said that they had not had any reports of dog getting the bird flu anywhere around in this area, and just keep an eye on her, lethargy, fever, respiratory distress, or anything like that. Which I don't think that if anything, she may have licked it, but I'm hoping not. But as of right now, she seems okay. So I reported it to the DNR, and Chef took the proper steps to dispose of it. They didn't want to see it. He had to put on rubber gloves, a mask, and pick the bird up and then double bag it. And they said dispose of it in the trash. Well, we weren't really feeling too keen about that. So right now, from being a nurse, I have some biohazard bags. So he double bagged it, and then we put it in a biohazard bag until I can talk to the vet tomorrow. But it's out away from where no other animal or anything can get it. He put it just inside our garage door. Anyway, so we don't know. It could have been just a mysterious illness. Didn't have anything to do with the bird flu, but that kind of set us off for a little bit for today. Anyway, okay, now back to what I was doing. So I've got this all mixed up now. You can see this. It's kind of hard to see, I know, with this light. You can see that cream. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my lady fingers. I'm going to set this right here. I'm going to get my pan, and you don't have to spray it or do anything like that to it. Nothing fancy. What I always do with my tiramisu is I like, with the cream, I use my cookie scoop. To me, it just makes it prettier. It makes the layers look nicer. That's just me. So, anyway, if you do find any dead birds on your property, in your yard, or anything like that, then you want to take safety steps to dispose of it, report it, whatever the rules and regulations are in your area. So then after that, Chef went outside with some bleach, and he bleached the whole area where the bird was and all around it, and he disinfected his shoes, just because we don't want to take any chances. Okay. So if you guys have never seen ladyfingers, this is what one looks like. It's just a light and airy cookie. No, Sandy. Sandy's down here looking at me. You can't have one. Light and airy cookie. And move some stuff here. Okay. And in here, we have our cold coffee. Now, normally you'll use espresso, which is very strong coffee. I like coffee, but I don't like it that strong. I used to not like coffee at all. My parents used to drink it black all the time, and I don't see how anybody can drink black coffee, but to each their own. But every time I would get on an airplane, that is like one of the things that I liked about it, is because that's the first thing I would smell is fresh brewed coffee. So, but now that I've gotten older, I like the coffee, but I'm still one of those people that, hey, would you like a little coffee with your cream and sugar kind of person? So I'm getting better at it. I'm getting a little bit more coffee now and a little less cream and sugar. But okay, so my hands are clean. What we're going to do now, and I'll tell you, when you dunk the cookies, you want to be quick about it, because it's like any other cookie. It's going to fall apart if you put it in coffee or, coffee dunkers. You know what I'm talking about. Again, you can use pound cake. You can slice a pound cake to fit down in here. You can use a sponge cake, but you want to be quick when you're dipping because you don't want it falling apart on you. And or those little, like I said, those little sponge cakes that they sell for strawberry shortcake. Okay, so I've got my coffee here. I'm just going to take a cookie, and I'm just going to be quick about it. I'm just going to put it in, flip it over, let the excess drip off, and put it in my pan. Quick. Put it in my pan. Like I said, try to shake off the excess. I mean, they're not going to fall apart in your hands, but you don't want to sit and hold on to it for any lengthy period of time, or keep it in the coffee for any lengthy period of time. And it smells so good already. And I can feel the cookies softening up. If you have not had tiramisu before, I would highly recommend it. It's one of those more sophisticated desserts. If you're having friends over, or you want to take it to a church function or something like that. Okay. So I have my first layer of ladyfingers in there. Okay. Let me get a paper towel. Dry the coffee off my fingers. Okay. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to use this arm over here. Because I'm just going to scoop and scoop. I'm not left-handed, so this is kind of hard for me right now. Have you ever been to one of those fancy restaurants and they've got those little butter balls? It's kind of like what the cream's going to look like. I don't know why this lighting is so off. Let me shut this off and turn it. Hang on just a minute. Okay, I'm back. I tried to dim the light down some. I don't know if that makes any difference or not. But again, I'm just going through and I'm taking some of this cream and scooping it and putting it on top of our coffee-soaked lady fingers. If you want to do this, you can brew your coffee a night ahead of time. It's a very, really a cheap dessert to make. I know sometimes heavy whipping cream can be expensive. But you could even omit the heavy whipping cream if you wanted and just get you a tub of Cool Whip. And either mix your mascarpone with the Cool Whip or your cream cheese like I'm doing this time. I'm saving my authentic tiramisu video just for the times when this bird flu is over. If anybody wants to make the real deal tiramisu, but this is, like I already said, this is almost identical to it. Okay, so that, if you can see that, I know I got a little spillage on there, but that's okay. All right, if you don't want as much cream, you can just blop you some in there and take an offset spatula and spread it down in there. Now I'm going to go in with some more lady fingers. And I'm just going to press. You have to be gentle when you press because you don't want your cookie falling apart on you. There's my second layer. So I have actually 2 more cookies on the second layer than I had on the first layer. Okay. Now it's cream time again. And I think this time I might just go ahead and try to spread it out. Save a little bit more time. Okay, now some of you may say, okay, that's enough. I'm going to stop here. And that's 2 layers. But no, we've got more cookies, so we're going to go for a third. We still have coffee and we still have cookies. If you go to Olive Garden or something like that, you spend a lot of money. Even Walmart sells tiramisu in their, with their birthday, over in the cake section with the birthday cakes and everything like that in their bakery. Yeah, duh. That's what I wanted to call it. In their bakery, they sell tiramisu. But the only issue is they have a small square, I don't know, maybe 3 inches by 6 inches, and they want almost $15 for it. It's crazy that I know it's all about convenience, right? Well, I said normally I had 3 cookies left over. I have 2 because I added an extra one on the second layer this time. Okay, so now it's our third layer. This is so good. So good. unless you absolutely hate coffee. If that's the case, then I personally have not made any, but I have seen where they've made lemon tiramisu, chocolate tiramisu, but I like the taste of a little bit of coffee. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go in with, and top this off, and then we'll show you the rest. So now we've got our Hershey's cocoa. This is one of the things that I was waiting on before I did the tiramisu. And yeah, one of our friends had told us it was probably because of the tariffs and the imports as to why I was having a hard time getting the Hershey's cocoa. So I'm just going to put a little cocoa in here and just add more as I go. So basically you're just going to go through and tap, 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 tap. Give this a nice dusting of cocoa powder. And if you don't like cocoa powder just the way it is, one of the things that you can do is you can add a little powdered sugar to your cocoa powder. Mix it first before you put it in your sifter. That sweetens it up some. Or, like I also said, you can just take a chocolate bar, a Hershey's chocolate bar, or a Ghirardelli, or whatever you prefer, and just shave it. Get you one of those graters and just shave it all across the top. Okay. So, I'm going to clean up my mess here. Presentation. So I'm just going to wipe this down. Now, normally you would cover it with some press and seal or wax paper, whatever you want to do. Oh, you know what? I'm a little shy on this side over here, guys. We need to fix that. See if we can add a little extra over there. Put a little more on that side. We don't want to have any bare spot. Nope. Okay. There we go. Messy. Yes, I am. But you know what? It's okay to be messy when you're making something, right? I think we're all a little messy when we're cooking or baking. It's just unavoidable. It's unavoidable. Try to shape that as much as I can. And we need a little bit more cocoa. Let's go along here on the edges and dust that with some cocoa. Okay. Put the excess back in there. All right. Let me get this cleaned up and then I'll be right back. Okay, so there we go. If you can see the nice layers of the coffee soaked cookie in there with the cream and the cocoa on top. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in the refrigerator. We're going to let it chill for a couple hours. And then once we cut it and we're able to taste it, then we'll be back. So we'll see you in a bit, guys. Hey everybody, it's Penguin. I'm back and it's dessert time. This has been chilling in the refrigerator for probably about 3 hours while I fixed dinner and everything, which there's going to be a video up for that. You'll be seeing that video before this one, I'm sure. We had an Italian night, dinner and dessert. So now it's time to take some of this out and give it a try. And I'll tell you, the first piece is always the hardest to get out. We're going to see what we can do here. Bear with me. Bear with me. So creamy. Okay. This is where you really need 2 spatulas. All right. That wasn't half bad. I think that was all right. See what it looks like on the other side if we can flip it. There we go. I think I didn't get the bottom layer of cookie out. Well, I did, but I think I pushed the rest of it underneath the... But the next pieces will come out just fine, if you can see that. See if I can get the... There we go. There's a good picture. See if we can turn it around here. Okay. Let's have a bite, shall we? See how the cookie is soaked up that coffee? We only had it in there for just long enough to flip it over. I don't know why this camera is... Everything is so bright. Flash isn't on, but that's all right. Let's just go in for a bite anyway and stop playing around. You can see that. It's not one to focus real great for me. It's all right. Let's just go in for a bite, guys. Mmm. Woo! That is some good eats right there. If you guys want some sophisticated dessert that tastes like it cost $1 million, but it didn't, make you some tiramisu. I guarantee you won't regret it. Unless you don't like coffee, of course. So that's it, guys. That's our Italian eggless tiramisu, the more affordable way. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye, Chef.
Bye, Chef.
Love you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.